Emmanuel Macron's unprecedented visit to the Lagos nightclub is evidence of Fela Kuti's continuing popularity. Here in the shrine, Fela not only performed his iconic Afrobeat music, but also ventured into political activism.
If I have just one message for young people here in the shrine tonight, yes, politics is important. Yes, be involved. I think what we need is a new generation of artists, of entrepreneurs, of people coming from civil society, of journalists, of intellectuals coming from Africa and explaining, speaking about Africa in Europe.
Macron has used the opportunity to announce a series of events that will take place in France in celebration of African culture.
What we wanted to launch this evening is the African Culture Season 2020. We decided to organize everywhere in France for 2020 a series of events about African culture. But the new thing is that it will be for Africa, for African artists, by African artists, and with African leaders, business community, influencers, and African people.
He's encouraged young Nigerians to emulate Kuti by being involved in shaping the country's political path. Locals have welcomed Macron's visit and his tribute to Kuti.
We've come a long way because Fela was not the friend of the West. And for a French president to come here and acknowledge his greatness and to use this platform to launch a cultural initiative on the continent, it's a big deal.
Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari accompanied Macron. His relationship with Kuti was complicated. He jailed the musician for his political activism back in the 1980s. But this night was all about the music. Edmond Nyabola, CGTN.
Well, for more on this story, let's now go to Abuja to our correspondent, Phil Ihasa. Phil, we've just heard President Macron praising African leaders in how they lead their people. This is certainly a shift in France's view of African political leaders. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Oh, thank you, Karen. It is indeed a shift in perception of African leaders in terms of leading its people. One of the praises that the French president gave to Nigerian leaders, or to the president, Nigeria's president, Muhammadu Buhari, was referring to his elections and the outcome of it, how that it was totally an unexpected situation, coming from the fact that sub-Saharan Africa has the longest serving president, leaders who usually will want to remain in power. So the result of that election, the election of President Buhari, actually was a turnaround, and that's one of the reasons why the perception of African leaders is also changing. You could also remember that President Buhari just signed the Not Too Young to Run bill, which is one of a major landmark in the political system in Nigeria.
So the perception is changing then of African leaders from Macron's point of view. There's also something for Nigeria to gain from this visit. What is it?
There's a lot for Nigerians to gain in this visit. Let's start with the first one, which was a recent agreement signed by the French president in terms of assistance to projects in Lagos State, Kano and Ogun State, which for projects actually in those states, and the total figure was around $475 million from just this visit. He also made promises about launching a new and very huge sports initiative to develop sports and culture in Nigeria. So these are some of the fallouts from the meeting, things that definitely Nigeria is to gain from the visit. Don't forget the French President Macron has also made a landmark milestone as the first ever president to visit the shrine in Lagos.
Well, let's talk a bit more about this Africa Shrine, or otherwise known as the Fela Kuti Shrine. How was he received?
Okay, Karen, well, Lagos was agog with people. The security situation was very calm because several information had been spread to ensure that everywhere was calm and peaceful. But you could tell the nostalgia, you could tell the excitement in the air as Nigerians welcomed the French president in Lagos. Like I said, he's the first president to ever visit the shrine of the legendary musician Fela Kuti. He was received by his children, his son and daughter, that's Femi and Kuti, at the shrine. One spectacular thing that happened in the night was a drawing that was presented to the French president, a drawing of the French president that happened just 2 hours as he arrived at the shrine by a young boy, 11-year-old boy, Waris Karim. Now, apart from that, there were lots of entertainment from top entertainers in the music and entertainment industry in Nigeria. So indeed, it was a night to behold in Lagos at the shrine.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. That was Phil Ihaza there in Abuja for us on the French President Emmanuel Macron's visit to Nigeria.